Okay, tell me how you all met.
Who?
You two.
Well, I got to get her down here.
Did you meet her at the cafe, or where'd you meet her at?
Huh?
Where'd you meet her at?
I think that's the first time I ever seen her. She's lived up there in the house on the corner. You take the ride, pass by there. Whenever I was carrying a baby, she's out of sweeping the floor. And you know, the dadgone broom just stopped whenever I went by.
And that's when you started eating at the cafe?
Huh?
Is that when you started eating at the cafe?
No, I was there before.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Then she got to working down there. Fit me hot cakes, stuff like that for breakfast, you know, and everything like that. She wasn't busy. Well, she'd come over and sit down beside of me and eat her breakfast.
Oh, man. How many girlfriends do you have then?
I take it away from 2.
Did you?
What?
She said, how many girlfriends did you have then? I said, I took him away from 2.
I think so, just 2, that'd be all right.
Oh, man.
You didn't tell her what year that was, though, did you?
No, I didn't. I didn't know. I don't know what year it was.
About 38, whenever you was talking about me sweeping the floors, or 39.
It was. Well, I was carrying the mail at that time.
Remember you was telling me that story about, what was it, you was coming across the Fairfield covered bridge and mules, or the wagon just about went off, or something other, right when you was coming across, I guess one side just about washed in, or something other?
No, you mean at the old covered bridge at Fairfield?
Yeah.
Oh, that's when Dad and Ernest, that's oldest brother, was in California. And left me here, and I and Mother made a cropping home that time. I think I was about 13 years old. Of course, I went in the cars. Get some of that candy there. That's what it's for. To eat.
You said you was about 13 years old? You had put out the crop?
Yeah, Mother. There's new ground where the stuff like that sprouts and grew up. I never worked that. Had it in the Sargo. That's all like Milo, but it outgrown taller. That's we're down to the lower end of the field there, and out toward the Major's place. And there's a big brush pile on the north, the end of the field there. And we've seen it, the hot weather and everything. Last time we got there, down to the shade tree. Boy, God, it was hot too. We've seen a snake on that brush pile. So Mother got on one side of the brush pile, and I sit on one side and set the fire. See that snake come out. We never did sit them out. The next day we went down there, and of course, if they got a mate down there, you can see where it's called down, they seen where that one called down, but couldn't see where the other one was burned up or what. And we stayed home and played the crop dead, and Ernest come home that fall just a while before frost. And then we got in and cut it with a core knife and chopped it up, feed the old cows through the winter.
Yeah, what did they do out in California?
I don't know, some kind of work out there that Dad knew, I think it was Crawford. It used to be that Fairfield or something like that. But them times it's hard going with everybody.
Yeah. Did you all live at the old place, or,
Huh?
you know, where Ray Turpin's living? Is that where you all lived?
That's where you lived in.
Where did,
Where Turpin is at.
okay.
Yeah.
Who lived down at the old place? Was that a cabin once, or?
No, down there where we moved from.
Yeah.
Granddad lived down there.
Yeah. He got that started, that, you know, he built that house there? The place you moved from?
No, I know that's built when there.
Uh-huh.
I don't know who built it down there. Did you see that wagon and mules that, on the picture and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Well, that was taken down there to that lower well.
Yeah. And how many kids was there of you? How many kids?
You what?
There's
How
9
many
of you?
family? Yeah, how many children?
In my family,
Yeah.
there's 5 boys and 3 girls. And but I was the best boy that mother raised.
Oh, did.
Huh?
Remember, you're in the movies.
That don't make any difference.
Who's the oldest of all?
Huh?
Who was the oldest of all the kids?
Ernest.
Ernest was?
And then I had a sister that between died at the birth.
Yeah.
But if she's born, by golly, I'll come out and tell her.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Well, all right. There's 8 of us in the family,
Mm-hmm.
besides the girl. Mother said that I was the best boy that she raised. We'd wonder why and everything like that. And I said, well, all the rest of them wet in the bed. And I got up on the pillow.
Oh, man. Did Ma come from Kentucky?
Huh?
Did Ma come from Kentucky, or?
Arkansas, come up from Arkansas with a covered wagon.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's 3 or 4 families come from Arkansas on a wagon. That's way back years ago. You take all that land back up south of Bentonville there, going toward Quincy and in there. There wasn't no fences or hardly any buildings at all. Granddad come from Arkansas, and my grandmother was right down the foot of the hill there from the Shiloh Church.
Yeah.
That's where they lived.
Huh. Didn't we have an Uncle Ed or somebody around there, or?
Huh?
Didn't we have an Uncle Ed?
Ed met us.
Ed, okay, Ed met us. Did we have an Ed Crabtree?
What?
Ed Crabtree, or there's a,
I think,
Yeah, Ed Crabtree. Did they have an Ed Crabtree in the family?
no, not only the Eddie we got now,
Yeah.
it's the one that I know of.
What is your granddad's name?
What?
What was your grandfather's name?
Peter Bud.
Where you talk to her?
Well, I can't hear.
Yeah.
I'm hard hearing.
what was your your grandmother's name? Wasn't there a Carrie?
Yeah.
Right.
That was Granddad's wife. That's where they got the name, and I don't know how they ever, to start off with.
Mm-hmm. You know whereabouts they're from or anything, or?
Huh?
You know where they're from?
No.
No.
Granddad, Crabtree, he went to California during the gold rush.
Mm-hmm.
And going through Kansas and stuff like that, and like that. A lot of times run out of water. I've seen him down home there. After he come back, he would go by the table. Wasn't no refrigeration or anything like that. And he'd raise the tablecloth and get a teaspoonful of meat grits, on it. They'd let it thaw it out and everything. He did put that in his mouth and said that's what we use for water going across the plains.
Man. You got any questions?
And granddad's brother went to go away, and he come back on the train and got into St. Louis, and he was murdered there. Got robbed and murdered there for his money.
Was Fairfield always there?
Huh?
Was Fairfield always there when you was a kid, or?
Oh yeah, when I was a kid, yeah. I was getting back to where I was talking about the bridge and everything like that. I worked a team of mules with a wagon, went to Fairfield, took eggs, stuff like that. They'd have eggs in a big 30 dozen case, wood case. They'd take the trading down there and go to Fairfield Mill, take wheat down there and trade it for flour. Take corn down there and grind it for meal. That's the old water mill.
Yeah, by the bridge.
Where the dam was at. And there my mother went over to town there. That's what you want to get back to that wagon. Went over and we started back home because the old covered bridge. A lot of the kids there at Fairfield and a lot of them from the country go down there, but evening, Saturday evening. That's about the only place they have to go because there wasn't any cars or nothing else to get by. So drove up to coming back home after we got the groceries. I was driving the mules, and Doris McKenzie and some of the other Fairfield kids was out there. And they were standing right at the end of the ridge. Of course, the mules were kind of afraid of them. And they started backing up and kind of made the crack the wagons, things like that. And one iron wheel down there and went off over the bank with it down like that, it opened the road. Doris McKenzie got a hold of the mule's bits and got them stopped and everything like that. But it didn't hurt anything, anything like that.
How long was that bridge up? That covered bridge?
That covered bridge? I don't know how long it was, but it's the piers and rock and stuff like that put in there slaves, Alexander slaves. And that bridge there was tore down and a steel bridge put up. And whenever they was going to put in the Bagnell Dam and everything like that, well, they had that steel bridge in there. Check. She's talking on the telephone. I didn't hear it ring.
Yeah, right. Did we have any, the Crabtree family, did they have any slaves?
Not that I know of. But Johnny Crabtree, getting the Crabtree tree, the Crabtrees, you know. Him and his wife come down here and he had several, he checked on and everything, but I don't know where this, but it was a nigger slave out of the Crabtrees. But now where that come in, I don't know, but he checked it somewhere, Arkansas or somewhere. But he was, come down here and trying to get the, the little, what I know about the Crabtrees.
Yeah. But Mom, when she came up from Arkansas, Mom, when she came up from Arkansas when she was a little girl.
Yeah, just a girl, yeah.
Yeah, she used to tell stories about meeting up with Indians or something like that. She used to meet up with Indians or anything like that when she crossed.
No, my great-grandmother used to be down there in Wild Hogan. She said, who are you talking to?
You was talking about Ma's mom?
Yeah.
and everything, that, you know,
My mother
yeah.
and grandfather come from Arkansas in a covered wagon and everything. And they lived just under the hill, down over the hill from the shallow church. And there they come back. But that is all open country back in there. And of course, cattle and horses and everything run out over there. Now that is way back there. But there's one woman that from Arkansas died. That's come up here and they buried her for a short while. And they want to take it back down to Arkansas. Be buried down there.
Yeah.
And they thought, well, I don't know how long she'd been buried, but not very long. But anyway, they thought they'd see what kind of shape she was whenever they opened up the coffin and everything. That woman turned over in the casket, and a lot of her hair was pulled out. I said, see, and that's mother always said. She told me that time and time again. She said, whenever I die, I want them to know that I'm cold. So don't just because I die, just take me off and bury me. Just wait. And that's the reason Marion got so damn mad at me whenever mother died.
Yeah.
Even heard and everything. But mother told me time and time again, like a lot of things like that. It was interesting.
Well, do we have any Indian blood in us?
Huh?
Do we have any Indian blood in the family?
Not that I know. Some of them thought there was. Some of them said it was more of an Irish name, Crabtree. See, the Indians had a kind of a Crabtree and things like that, you know, in their names. Big chief and this, that, but like that's. But I never did know just. But I don't know. But I think the ancestors years back, the Crabtrees come from Kentucky. Now, I'm not knowing, sure. But there's a lot of things that I wish I'd asked about them years back, so I know. But I didn't, or anything, didn't even think about it, anything like that.
Yeah. Shirley said something about somebody called down here not too long ago from Montana. Do we have any relatives up that way that you know of, or?
Well, I don't know. She didn't tell me anything, but it was all over and everything. We had to call him back and found out.
All this lady or man was said he was trying to locate Jim Crabtree that had owned land in Montana years ago, or some of his ancestors. Well, I didn't know no Jim Crabtree, and so he said he would try to locate some of the other Crabtrees
On the way and star out.
to
And I
try
thought, if she'd have said, well, you call back, my husband's here, I can go. I'd ask him, been glad to. This thing's been in my mind for a heck of a long time about it was a Crabtree that went to Montana, and I don't know whether it was his brother or whether it was his cousin. They separated, this couple went out there, and come back, and he's Willie Crabtree. He lives in Arkansas now.
Yeah.
And let's see, what would the quilting woman name up there?
Oh, Pauline Curry,
Yeah. She's I believe that Willie Crabtree is
her uncle.
her uncle. And whenever he come back here, I never did see him. Yes, I did. No, that was before he went to Montana. I bought a mare and a mule colt. They lived at the Wisdom store there, back over there, just short distance. And I think after that they went to Montana. And I go out there. There's two of them now. I don't know whether it's brothers or whether it's cousins. They separated over this woman that went with him out there. Prove Shears used to be. And always, my mind, whether he was brothers or not. Now, Pete Crabtree lived down there, and he was only a cousin to this Willie.
Yeah.
Willie Crabtree, born and raised there by the Crabtree Cemetery, the Fairfield. And the other one's back up this way a little, there, that's where the old Avery Road forked there and went back toward Avery off the Fairfield Road. There's the Joe Crabtree place.
Was there any Indians around, or that you know of when you was a kid that, you know, had anything to do with that Indian Hill?
You what?
Was there any Indians around at the time when you was a kid?
No, huh?
No?
No, but there's some Indian graves over on Indian Hill, you know. There's something there, but they've been there for years. Yeah. And Grandma Powell, that used to live in Arkansas, and she was 88 years old, and I'd get on her knee and she'd tell me about the stories, you know, that happened and everything. And they lived down there in just a little old cabin, I guess, where they talked Arkansas, and they had to go down over a hill like that to get water.
Mm-hmm.
Some kid, I don't know where it was, some of her relation, I guess, that was with her.
Mm-hmm.
And the wild hog was to come out in the path that they'd coming up on her, and she got behind the tree and kind of circled like that, and finally the hog got tired of waiting. They'd move around like that, you know, and she was afraid of the hog. Had this little kid with her, but the hog finally went on and made it like that. She'd tell about the James boys going through the country and everything like that, bank robbers, and said that the James boys never bothered anyone around, hurt them or anything. Said they was bank robbers.
Yeah.
And they kind of enjoyed that, just the way she talked, and they heard others talk about it. They robbing banks, and they would take the money and divide it up among the people out in the country.
Huh.
And they'd go through a horseback. That's the only way they had to go. And if one of the horses happened to play out on them or anything like that, running around, well, they'd stop at a farming and get a horse there and pay him for the horse, big price and everything, go on.
Did anybody in the family, I thought Dad said something that somebody hid the boys one time.
Huh?
Did anybody hide the James boys at one time in the barn or something?
Well, I think that you're thinking of
Pretty Boy Floyd.
Pretty Boy Floyd.
Oh, is that it?
Mm.
Yeah.
That's several years after the James brothers.
Well, that's way back, hell after. I'm born to live down at the old place.
Uh-huh.
When the Pretty Boy Floyd come through, he'd drive to the bank, Bolivar, wasn't it? And took the banker with him and everything like that. And there's one or two of them, and come through Bentonville. Now that's about the time I was carrying the mail.
Uh-huh.
But the old man, Bashir's, run the store up there, him and his wife. And of course they didn't know anything about the bank being robbed or anything. They come through in there and drove up the gas tank. Told them wanted some gas. And Bashir asked him how many gallons. He said, "You know when it's full, don't you?" And I got it filled up on full. And I think he pulled out a $20 bill and handed it out like that and just took off and come on down toward Fairfield, got there where the road left the road to go with the house, before they crossed the bridge, made that circle there and threw out 2 or 3 shells out of the car that was driving. But then they went on west, and somebody said they made it over in the Harris Bend, over west there, after across the County Line Bridge.
Uh-huh.
But they didn't know he crossed or anything. But this seriously on it, they sent up there, went out and took some bridge floor out of the bridge. It's a swinging bridge, you know, way up. They took the floor out, thinking that Pretty Boy come by there, you know, and there'd be a place to catch him. But they didn't. He went over to Harris Bend and he had a cabin over there. That nobody knew anything about who he was or anything about it staying there.
Uh-huh.
But I think then he left him down there, and I don't know, didn't he get killed in Iowa or something like that? Something like that. But he was a bank robber.
Man. Do you used to have to break your own horses when you was a little boy?
Huh?
You used to have to break your own horses? Or?
Yeah. Then, a lot of times there'll be people down there that raise mules. And every spring somebody's coming, wanted Dad to break the mules to work and stuff like that. And we'd break them to work and break them to ride. The honors was in it, they didn't tell us to do that. We'd break them to ride. We'd go to the field at noon when they were just kids. And after work them down pretty well, you know. Just have harness on, stuff like that. We go on there and ride at the house and everything. We broke them that way a lot of time. Then on Sunday, if Dad and Mother left or anything, this fellow named Colbert lived over with his aunt over west there. He was a single fellow, but he only make 2 or 3 of me. Big, tall, legged deal. And Sundays, if folks would go, we'd go down there at the barn and catch them mules and ride them, just see them book and stuff like that. And a lot of times, if they didn't have a book or anything, we'd take and put a rope around the belly, pull it up tight to make them buck and everything like that. And this boy lived with Aunt Cass Jones, that was his aunt. Of course, we, younger generation, called her Aunt Cass too. And Uncle Bill Howe, and they'd always get in the wagon one Sunday morning and drive over to Shiloh Church every Sunday morning. Well, I and Spear would do that, that's this Colbert boy. We'd go over and ride the cows and stuff like that, get up around the barn, you know, take a rope and get on. And there's one old bell cow there. She could pace just like a horse. I'd rather you ride her around and have a lot of fun. And there was a 3-year-old there, long-legged son of a gun. I got she was wild. Put a rope on her, and we tried to ride her. And Phil would get on, and he went in more and hit the back. He'd hit the ground. And that's the way it is. I got it right like that. That's just the way we had to entertain ourselves.
Yeah. Did you go to school at Pleasant Hill or?
No.
No?
Mount Hope.
Mount Hope?
Yeah. When it was, this is just this one schoolhouse now. Oh, now listen, Sonny. This school that I went to is just one building, one teacher.
One room.
One room, and this teacher taught all of them. And at one seat in there was 65 kids enrolled there. And this one teacher taught them all. And I think she's getting about $30 a month. Was her wages that she got for teaching school then. And be 2 or 3 in each seat and everything like that. But anyway, now that's the way it was and everything. And that's what the boys down there, out there, played black man, dropped the handkerchief, stuff like that. And then all line up, boys and girls, and hold hands like that, make a big ring. And they'd, what you call drop the handkerchief. They'd take a handkerchief, you know, and they'd go down like that. And they'd drop the handkerchief down behind someone now that they didn't think they seen or anything. And they'd keep going around, finally look down, and there's the one that picked up this handkerchief, they'd take them, run them around to back of where, and the one that dropped the handkerchief, they'd take its place. That's what they call. And they'd play black man, anything.
Dare bays.
Dare bays.
Over. Throw the ball over the school.
Yeah.
But
Did you ever skip school?
Huh?
Did you ever play hooky from school?
Nope.
No.
No, but I got whipped a lot of times for other things.
What'd you do?
What?
What'd you do?
Well, a lot of times missing words and spelling.
You got spankings for it?
I got more than a spanking. They didn't use spanking boards then.
the switch.
Had to send some out in the brush out there. Hazel get sprouts all as big as your finger, about like that. Bring them in. The teacher would get you up on the floor there and whip you with it.
Make stripes on your legs and back.
And get up there and if you missed miss 3 words and spell them, you got a weapon. If you miss 2, you got to spell it. There's a weapon. And I got more weapons that way against anything, but I got a lot of weapons. And down back there was smoking. And of course, the girls' outside room was down behind the schoolhouse. They had an old side privy down there. That's where the boys went back
to the bathroom.
The boys would go through this old fence over in the timber. Outside there wasn't no bathroom there or anything. And of course, it was smoking. It wasn't full of smoke. There's a fellow named Brown went to school down there. So I'd smoked and he went, the teacher asked who all the smoking and everything. And they all ever denied it except me. I told her yes, I smoked. And I got him over the hill, and then the next day I tanned his hide. Like that. The teacher cut me up to whip me. Because the rest of them sitting back here, and I would say, that's the teacher up yonder. And all of us facing the teacher, you know. Got up there, she called me up and asked me a lot of questions about that, and I said, yeah. What do you smoke, stuff like that. I went back, of course, had the face all like me, you know. They laughed about it and everything. I kind of laughed too when they got back, when I turned around, you know. She says, if you feel about that way, come up and I'll give you some more. I walked back up there and she hung it on to me again.
Oh, man.
But the teacher, one of them 3 words and everything like that, I got you whipping down around the legs there. Blood had come out too, wasn't a big welt. That's no joke. Now that's the way it was whenever I went to school. They don't do that now. I seen in the paper the other day where it ruled out that paddling. Some other state or something.
I've seen them bend their hand back and hit them with a ruler across their eyes. I never did. And I've had to stand on the floor a time or 2.
How come?
Director's the boy.
Probably passing notes.
Oh, now I know where Cheryl Carey gets hers from, huh? Passing notes. Yeah.
I was always pretty good, and real good in spelling and ciphering, you know, and plain old arithmetic problems.
Did you all finish high school, or how far did you go?
I just went to 8th grade.
That's the boy I got 10 days in time. 8th grade, about as much as a lot of them make.
Yeah.
Well, I was back in the Depression, and folks had paid tuition and bought the books. You had to buy your own books for Curtis and Violet, my older sister. And they just went a month or 2 and quit. And so when it come time for me, that they wouldn't let me go to school, although I'd worked that summer and bought my clothes and had money for my books. But then my Ruby and Orville, my 2 brother and sister younger than me, well, they sent them through high school. And they each one went an extra year because they went back and took the 8th grade over in order for them to graduate together.
Yeah. Huh.
And so they could go through high school in the same class.
God,
Did you all have to go 9 months like they do now, or you just...
something like that, yeah. But we had to walk like 2.5, 3 miles a lot of time back and forth.
2.5 miles.
School, we didn't get nowhere to ride or anything. Rain, snow, or anything. Now, when they were talking there about the teacher whipping and everything, words, Ellie Ray, she was missing the words. She's about my age, and they lived north. Oh, they're quite a ways. And it's snowing there one evening, and
It was snowing?
did I get my tongue tangled up in that?
No, you're fine.
But anyway, I and Henry and Sean was in there. And I think it's noon now or something or other, and we was in there. in the schoolhouse at noon hour, you know. And they got a boy in between there, you know, was crowding him out like that, you know, just in the seat, just for fun with it. But anyway, the teacher got asked about it. He kept me and Henry, and this Nellie Ray that missed the words in spelling, kept her in, and he whipped her. She went home crying, cold and everything like that. She'd walked over half a mile further down the road past Henry Cox's. Henry seen her coming, and Henry come out and got her to come in and warm. And she went in the house there, was kind of throwed out and went on home then and everything. And I don't know whether the teacher whipped me and Henry or not, but he kept saying he wasn't talking to me and everything like that.
I never did get a whipping at school because Dad always said if I got one, I'd get another one when I got home.
Yeah, but I got no lesson. That missing them words and things like that, they haven't. But Dad told me that a lot of times too, but he kind of recognized what the situation was, you know.
Yeah.
So the teacher, by God, he'd hang it on you rough too, whipping that damn stick. So a lot of them, you know, time and time again, that to study your lessons, you can spell every damn word that is in the what you're supposed to study, you know. You spell every damn one of them. You get up there and then so-and-so, and I got to, it happened to miss there, miss two, but that's just too damn bad.
Did you have to walk every day to school, or did you all had to ride buggies or horses?
No.
You had to walk?
We walk.
And let's see, I went
A lot of times that I'd push my look out through a window, underneath the window like that on the outside. Tell the teacher I didn't have no spelling book, no arithmetic, anything like that.
you got a whipping.
No, I didn't. I got to send it to the girls.
Oh, man.
Well, the stove was in the middle of the schoolroom. And in the wintertime, oh, it was cold. And the teacher let you move your seats up around close to the stove, and that's when you got to sit with the boys or whoever you want to. Of course, in the wintertime, it's always cold.
Was it your all's job to keep the fire in the wood, or was that the teacher's?
Teacher was the janitor then, and different ones would go out and get wood, you know, help her out. And she'd have different ones on Friday evenings to clean the erasers and clean the blackboard, be ready for Monday morning. But the sweeping and keeping the stove clean was her job. And we didn't have any warm water to wash in. They'd make you line up at noon, you know, outside and it's cold, and have a pitcher of water and you go hold your hands, and that's the way you washed them. Your hands was always chapped and the bleeding, you know, from being out in the cold.
How many kids were in school?
Oh, there was 40 at Hazel Valley where I went.
You had kindergarten too, or
No,
just first grade?
kindergarten wasn't back then.
Yeah.
And one teacher taught all 8 grades. All 8 grades. And I don't ever remember taking any homework home with me. We studied that at school between classes. I remember taking that.
Did you have much homework, Papa?
Do what?
Did you have much homework?
Yeah, that was doing the chores.
Yeah.
Milking the cow.
Your job when you got home in the wintertime was carrying wood, and we usually helped milk cows, and we milked 2 or 3 apiece, and then walked the 2.5 miles to school.
I didn't get much schooling. Ernest had the asthma so bad and everything like that, you know. He kind of on the sickly side after he got up through the 8th grade, but had to send him to school over at Warrensburg. But that didn't do him any good, and he was away for a while. And Dad keep me at home in the spring of the year to plow put in the crop and stuff like that. Then in the fall of the year, that we cut the corn and stuff like that. I'd stay home from school and everything like that. But I know that Dad was always kind of partial to me, I guess, because I'd get out and help him, everything like that. And he told a lot of them that around after I was married and left home, that I'd done more work than any of the kids around like that. And whenever I was carrying the mail, Dad must what was that? But anyway, Dad and Mother Leonard had a place to farm and everything.
Yeah.
That just after they had married, Dad and Mother moved up to the upper place, and they moved down to the lower place. Well, like I said, young, I need to go and stuff like that, you know, and they would be carrying the mail like that, dick to feed. Dad and Mother would supposed to get part of the corn and stuff like that, you know. They'd have to go down in the field down there and get the corn. And whenever I was carrying the mail, Zenas Jones told me several different times, says, why don't you go down there and take this farm over? Says your dad and mother down there having to get the corn and everything like that. And I said, no, I don't want to do that. I says, just cause a big trouble and everything like that. Kept on. And Dad went over to Warsaw, talked to Frank Brady and old, that was prosecuting attorney, and old Crudge there at the bank. And, oh, damn it. Now that two or three down there, I can't call her out now. He'd go and talk to them and have them to come and talk to me, go back and take over the place. Dad had asked me time and time again I'd go to Bentonville with the mail, and I'd leave where at 3 o'clock. A lot of times I'd drive back down Dad and Mother when they lived on the lower place, and then the same way we moved up to the other place. Dad come down to Warsaw there one morning, and I was eating breakfast. Just come in to eat, and he come in and sit down by me, and I said, well, have breakfast? And he said, no, just got up from the table started. And I said, well, sit down and drink coffee. He says, no, I'll bother. He said, you go ahead and eat. You might have other chores to do. And I was picking up the stuff that I hold out on the route. And he said, I'll see you on the outside when I'm on the outside. He done it every way he could. He'd done it time and time again. Told me to come back and take the place over. Says, I and your mother just too old to do it, and says, we know that you will. And he said, Leonard Nell has got word that they don't care about anything. And says they don't have feed to stop. Fences going down and everything, they don't try to keep that up. But anyway, it went on. I couldn't stand it any longer, I just up and sold the mail, like, because it was just making a living like that. But anyway, all of them along the route, they hate to see me leaving everything. And I would get off on something else. There was that woman running over and hugged and kissed me all the She was just a little. And whenever I was carrying the mail, and her dad was kind of well, he's an ex-soldier, and he had a bad leg. And they lived off in Louisville, I guess, 3/4 mile, something like that. But the road went by there, but I kept the main road going up the highway to the post office, Bentonville. And Arnie Cobb is his name, and Arnie took him over there and wanted me to take him to over at Quincy, over at Wild Blow or something like that, but he'd over there 2-3 hours up there. And this Arnie's youngest daughter, Alice, she was a school teacher. Afterwards, she married a boy that I knew over there for Wisdom. His name was Wisdom. And I don't know, of course, he always friendly, and all them Cobb boys was friendly. There were several boys. And whoever the devil was there, she came, was down there at the funeral home one night,
Funeral
and
home, somebody.
then she come over and like that, she was just, the bird says,
Can I kiss him? Go ahead, just make his day.
huh?
I said, I told her, go ahead, just make your day.
And I got she always knew that. Well, hell, that's been about 3 weeks ago. It was over at the funeral home, and then the damn place is full. Here she come over and hugged me by golly, just like nobody's business. But they all.
She remembered her dad to going to town with him and taking her dad to town because he didn't have any way to go, and she always knew that when he got home there'd be a sack of candy.
Yeah.
And take a candy to him, you know, like that. But all the kids gone, he was good when I got it. But anyway,
Now you
Alright.
you sold the mail route. Now where'd you go from there?
I went to Kansas City, worked in the Curdy Packing Company there just a short while, and they was building the kind of a, had World War II coming up, thing like that. And over at or lower some damn place out west of Kansas City there, they was building some kind of an army camp out there. And there's a pole there and everything like that, and they was wanting to be plumber helpers. And I went out there, I think, worked 2 days, and hell, it was raining and mud and everything like that. You was a mud bowl by the time you got out there and you left. So I quit that and come back, went into the packing company, worked there for a short while, and then went down to Lake City down there.
Mm-hmm.
And she was working at a restaurant down there at
Buckner.
just outside of the base area, you know, where they made the ammunition. She went up there working. We worked in up there, different rooms for a while.
Yeah, how much did you get paid an hour or a day?
Up there for that, hell, I don't know.
Oh, post $3, $2.78 I think was the highest that I got.
A day?
Hour.
An hour?
Yeah, that's back in early
Or
40s.
two.
Early
Yeah.
40s. And that was high salary for what most of
And there was, it closed. I come back down the farm there. But I had to bring her along with me, you know. That's when they was started trouble. But Dad
said that.
Dad and Mother lived on the other place.
Uh-huh.
And this, I think we come down on Friday. See, they terminated about 1,700 there on Friday. They gave them a 10-day notice. And I think that, but anyway, we come back down to the Dad's, I think, is on Friday evening. So, Sunday, hot, blue blazes. And that's up there where Wrigley is now. Remember this, where the well was out just each house there?
Uh-huh.
There's concrete there. And the bird and Mother sitting on the porch. And Dad was out there, wasn't kind of like that, sitting on that. And I don't know whether that saved or what, but anyway, Dad says, I wish to the Lord that I could sell this place. I said, because I knew it and had been for several years. Just wearing yourself to death, you know, place is going down and everything. So he said, I wish the Lord I could. And I says, Dad, I've already told you that. I said, you just soon sell me as anyone else. Oh, God, I'd rather. I said, well, I says, I'll have to see about the money and get it. And I asked him what he, one of them said he'd take, wasn't it $8,000 for the place.
Mm-hmm. How many acres was that?
240, I don't know, that's too close. 350, 400 acres. So they took in all that up there. I forget now just what it was.
We added the 60 to it and made it 413 acres. And
Yeah.
I take that 60 off of that. See what it
But
does.
anyway, that I said, well, I'll see if I can make arrangements for the money. And I got acquainted with Stuart Phillips when he was carrying the mail. He was big shot of the Wagnall Dam outfit, you know. He bought a lot of the land when the sheep and sold and everything. He had plenty of money. So I went and asked him, and he's funny talking old man. Because whenever I was carrying the mail, I had a Ford pickup, or not a Ford pickup, but I had a leg coupe. And we had a man, God, I can't think of his name now, lived out there. He was an old bachelor. He lived on the Crabtree place out there. Farmed that Crabtree bottom down there for Phillips. Of course, he'd buy hogs, stuff like that, feed the corn too. A lot of times they'd buy hogs and ship them to, or truck them to highway. And this bachelor lived there, says, "What do you do with pastime, Clarence?" And I says, "You had a damn thing to make a dime at." He said, "Why don't you get out here and buy me up pigs?" I said, "Hell, I don't know nothing about buying pigs." He said, "You can learn." He said, "I know better than that." He says, "I know you." I said, "Well, what kind of a deal do you want?" He said, "Well," says, "you buy them by the pound or by the head." And he says, "I'll pay you, I believe, penny a pound or something like better than what I give." Well, I took that damn thing out there and this turtle in the back, and I'd buy a hole, put them in the back, you know, let the hood hold them around like that. But anyway, it went on, that's start for the money. Yes, Clarence, you go ahead now. Says, "I'll take care of it." I said, "Well, we say I don't do." But when I was telling the Dad that I'd say about the others, if he had the rest of them wanted, I said, "I won't do it." So Noel was in California, and Ernst lived up on us, and called and talked to him and wrote him letters and everything. "Here, I'll give you, go right ahead, Brother Field, have it in, but you go on to sell it, Brother Field, have it in." So, Stark told me to he let me have the money. So, Zenas Jones and his wife was going to, that winter going to California or Washington, one, I forget which it was.
California.
Where the oldest son lived. And he went, of course, that was just over the hill, you know, from where Ray lives now.
Yeah.
That's where Dad and Mother stand then. He come on me where he come over in his house. Just rent didn't cost anything, just wanted to be there. Take care of things. And I said, "Well, I want to buy some cows someday." I said, "You just go ahead." He says, "I'm going to have a sale." He says, "Dad's going to have a sale?" And I said, "Well, imagine he will." Well, he says, "Why don't you get together?" He says, "Your dad ain't got any quail down there to hold cattle or anything." And says, "It'd be just as cheap or maybe better to move his stuff over here at my place and sell it together." And says, "That way, why, it'd be a lot handier for both of us." And I said, "Well, go for that." That's it. So we started moving stuff from Dad's over there, where, well, some of his machinery and stuff was down Leonard's, you know, where Leonard lived on the whole place. Leonard done he told me that. But anyway, we was moving the stuff over to sale. I got Zenas been to Fairfield horseback, come up behind us, and we was moving stuff in the wagon over to Jones' place. He says, "Clarence," said, "you know you're in trouble?" And I said, "No, I hadn't anything about it, but I kind of expected." Well, he says, "They're going to stop your dad and mother's sale." That they went and said that they wasn't capable of taking their own business, you know, running their own business. So I said, "Well, we'll have to see about that later." So we moved on over there and went over to Warsaw. And Dad and Mother was, Hank Brady was prosecuting attorney, him and Dad drove us together, and that old Courage run the bank there. And I went and talked to them. And Hank Brady said, "Don't worry," he says, "we'll just beat them to it." So old Courage said something about my, he said, my Lord says, here's your, and your mother's mind a lot better than some of the kids. That's the way he answered them, you know. But anyway, Bob Petts is in the land business down there. So Frank Brady come and said we just beat him to it. So